G'day, I'm Sean Rasmussen from Learn How to Blog. This is the Content Marketing Formula. A huge welcome, it's great to have you here. Today I'm going to go through an overview of the Content Marketing Formula. We're going to talk about exactly what content marketing is and why it is so great. And I'm going to share with you how I've come to the conclusion of the Content Marketing Formula and how it actually works. I will even go into a little science lesson today, but fear not, because it is simple science. And it is something that we live with on a daily basis. And when we understand the concept, it makes your content marketing efforts so much easier, and you'll wonder why you hadn't started doing it much sooner. We've got a month ahead of us, so let's get started. This session's probably going to be a little bit longer than the usual session, so we want to get started right now. Let's ask some questions. Is internet marketing a science? Is it a formula? And can anyone do it? Well, the answer to all those three is yes, yes, yes. It is a science, but it is a simple science that normal people like you and me can understand. It is a formula, it is a simple formula, and you can follow it. Anyone can follow it. We just need to understand what the formula is. What is the content marketing formula and what are we doing? We're going to learn to market anything online. It is 100% free to participate the entire month. But don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today, because I cannot guarantee you that I will leave it online or even that I will leave it free. It is free for this month. Use it while it's here. It is for the entire month. It's interactive, so please participate, because if you're a theoretician, you never put things into practice, then life does not eventuate the way you want it to. Participation is everything once you got the information, so please play with me this month. There is also a competition and you can win prizes, and I'm giving away thousands of dollars worth of prizes this month, and there's going to be a lot of very excited people and there's going to be a lot of happy people when you divvy out these prizes. Understanding content marketing is for you if you want to start a new online business, if you want to get more customers in your existing business, if you want to make more income, if you want to boost your traffic, if you want to become more employable, if you want to just have more fun and enjoy yourself and do what you love and love what you do, this is for you. Some of the topics we're covering this month in Content Marketing Formula. Of course, content marketing. It is another word for blogging. It is a greater word for blogging, and we're going to be going through lots of it this month. Another topic is the power of blogs. We're going to show you where the money is. We're going to talk about affiliate products or making your own products. If you are in business yourself, or whether you want to go into business or you don't want to be in business, this is still the right avenue for you. We're going to talk about social signals and the power of search engine optimization, how it has changed and how it's actually got easier for honest people like you and me. Some of the social media that we're going to be using is Facebook, Google+, Twitter and Pinterest. It's only a month here, and we don't want to inundate ourselves with too much social media because it can be a distraction, but man, it is a great distraction when you get search engine rankings from it. We're also going to have a look at traffic generation and much, much more. Before we get started, let me share with you a quick little bit about myself. I'm a former electrician. I used to work on mine sites. In 2003, I was $350,000 in debt. This is a picture of me and my two sons when I'd had enough of the fly-in, fly-out lifestyle, when I realised that it just wasn't all that healthy being away from your family. I missed seeing my second son take his first steps. I missed hearing him speak his first words. That wasn't cool. I didn't like that. As a father, as a parent, that is not what you strive towards. It's one thing providing, another thing is that you'd like to be part of your family as well. I've worked in many, many places, but being $350,000 in debt can place you under a little bit of stress, and I was working in some weird places. For instance, I worked on a vanadium mine out near Mount Magnet, or it wasn't even in Mount Magnet, it was about 100 k's out of Mount Magnet in the sticks. I'll tell you what, where I worked, It wasn't the end of the world, but you could see it from there. But when I moved my family up to the mines with me, here I am in Karratha on this picture with my family, it was a lot better. And at that stage, I was able to set myself a goal. I decided that I was in debt, I had to get out of debt, I wanted to replace my income, and I set a goal to do it with internet marketing within 24 months. And in December 2005, I achieved that goal. I was actually making $10,000 per month selling affiliate products online. So I started out as an affiliate marketer, and that's how I got to understand internet marketing. When I first started, I couldn't even send an SMS on my phone, and I considered myself computer illiterate, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. What this has done is opened up opportunities for myself and my family. What I made out of those decisions has now got influences on my family for generations to come, because the right attitude is now going into the family. I have discovered that I have now been doing things based on my own choices, got the luxury of living life pretty much on my own terms. Now in 2005 I discovered blogs and social media and the interaction between blogs and social media. Blogs gave me access to content marketing because the content you put on the blogs, that is content marketing. It gave me the leverage. It gave me the formula that I discovered, and I've only really put it into digits and words now. But I discovered way back then that energy and money are interchangeable. And that is where that falls into the content marketing formula. Energy and money are interchangeable. Blogs enabled me to boost my monthly income 2,400% after I'd reached 10 grand a month. I'll let you do the maths on that. Now I am an educator, I am an internet marketer. So let me show you a bit of the stereotype that I am not. This is something that I do not do. I do not live in a $5 or $10 million mansion. I do not drive an Italian car or some other sports car that costs $350,000 or $500,000. I'm an Aussie and my car is still holding together. That's a hint. I drive a Holden. Here are some of the things that I have done. I've wrestled little sheep 1/3 of my size. I've gone to Disneyland and stayed there for 5 days and got wooed by Daisy Duck. I've flown in a helicopter across the valley where they filmed Lord of the Rings. I've spent lots of playtime with my kids. I've educated businesses and normal people on how to use the internet, save money on advertising and get more customers. I've been able to show my kids how to become superheroes. One wanted to be Aquaman, the other one wanted to be Superman. Well, Superman only flew about 2 meters on that day, but I gave it a go. I've taken my family to lots of different destinations travelling. For instance, we've been 4 times to Vanuatu and Fiji. Here's me with my son scuba diving where he's the age of 9. And I also have the luxury of having man's best friend. His name is Buddy, and he's actually sleeping at my feet right now, right next to me, as I record this. Buddy is the office mascot, and he's a great friend. So you might ask me, Sean, why are you doing this? Why are you spending a whole month giving us a free course? Why are you doing all this, and why especially are you giving away prizes? For starters, it's November when I record this. It's time to start winding down. Winding down time for me, I still want to have some fun, so why not share something that I love? Also, New Year's resolutions. I see that people set New Year's resolutions and they give up quick. Quick smart is just like, yeah, whatever, another year, another resolution, and forget about a week later. I'm going to give you something to base your New Year's resolutions on. I'm going to give you some knowledge and some education before you get to the stage where you want to set your resolutions for next year. I also want to motivate more people to do, because the word do changed my life. Because I realised there was a difference between thinking about doing something tomorrow or doing something today. This month, The doers will get results. When you do things, when you interact with me this month, you will get results. You'll get answers and you'll get real results. I have a champion team behind me. In my business, these guys can take care of all the support in what we do, and these guys are going to be helping me here in the competition as well. It's always good to know when someone is backing you up. And this is also a chance to give back, because in business, you have to give in order to receive. And that is a massive part of content marketing. It's been a part of life since Adam wore shorts. But the thing is that most businesses fail because they do not understand that most simplest of concepts. People do business with you when they like you. So if you take all the time and wonder why no one's giving, well, start thinking about it. Here's a chance for me to give back. I'm doing what I love, so that's why I'm doing this. Let's have a look at what is content marketing. It is simply providing quality content to potential customers. Red Bull, for instance, they're a content marketer. Some people say that Red Bull, they're just a publisher that happen to sell a drink. Well, they just happen to sell billions of those every year, and they do really, really well. But what they do, they provide great content, and they just happen to make a boatload of money out of drinks because people see the brand and they drink the drinks because they associate it with something that they love. That's content marketing. Give people an opportunity to see that you're good at a topic. Let them see what you're about, or let them see what products you sell and service. It's like a try before you buy scenario. All you need as a content marketer is a blog, and I'm going to be basing everything in the content marketing formula on blogs because I am teaching normal people how to do this. When I talk about normal people, I'm talking about you and me. We're not corporates. If you're a Fortune 500 company, I can guarantee you're not listening to me right now. Why? Because what I do makes too much sense and it is far too cheap for a Fortune 500 company. Therefore, this works for us because we're using something like a blog that is cheap, almost free to run a blog, and it's just not expensive enough for those big fish. So you need a blog. You need social media accounts, and we're going to talk more and more about them. You need something to sell, and we're also going to talk about that, and you need effort. You're not going to get any results unless you spend effort, right? I think we should all be on the same page there, right? Without effort, there is no result, no matter how good your tools are. So why do you want to do content marketing? Well, it is the cheapest marketing medium available to mankind right now. You don't need any fancy business setups. You don't need a marketing degree or a suit or a tie. You can do it in your boxer shorts or your PJs. You can compete with the big boys, and it doesn't matter if you've shaved your face or your legs that day. It doesn't matter. All you need is a computer, an internet connection, a few simple tools, knowing this formula, which is very, very simple, and being prepared to make the effort. There are also massive search engine optimization benefits involved with blogs and content marketing, and it is not rocket science. I will show you the formula, and we're going to go into Einstein's Theory of Relativity. That sounds pretty scary, but when you see it, you're going to understand, even if you don't know how that theory works, even if you only know what it's called, E equals mc squared, but you don't understand it, after today, you will understand why it's so important and why it works. Let me share with you an invention of mine. It's called the Content Marketing GPS. These are the 3 letters of content marketing. GPS. If you remember them and what they mean, you will be successful when you put them into action. G stands for give, P stands for provide, and S stands for sell. Let's get into the first letter. G for give. Give great content. Give great content in your articles on your blog. The articles can be written by other people, it doesn't matter. And I will cover how you can outsource things, but you've got to give great content consistently. Content marketing is about providing great content. If you take it one step further and provide your content consistently and persistently, so you stand out from the crowd, you're on a winner. Then you got to give hospitality. People like friendly people and they shy away from grumpy people. Be hospitable. Give your readers on your blog a grand feeling of being welcome. And then give yourself. Give yourself to the readers. Let them get to know you via your blog or via your social media sites, but let them know you're a real person that cares and the content you provide is something that you actually like. If you're prepared to open up and let people get to know you, they will reward you with readership, recommendations, social proof, and sales. The second letter in the content marketing GPS is P for provide. Provide solutions. People have got problems and issues in their life. They don't have to be bad problems or issues, but everything, every day people go through has some sort of problem or issue attached to it. Bear in mind they can be good and they can be bad, but people seek solutions. The people with the solutions are the people with the money, providing they know how to charge for it. People will pay anything for a solution as long as the solution outweighs the price. That might sound very simplistic, but that is a gold mine. Then you also provide the experience. If you provide a better experience than your competitors, then you will have a business that booms. Most businesses provide an average experience because they do not understand the hospitality. Imagine a grocery shop that's got great products, everything is tip-top, but the shop attendant has a bad attitude. His dead old dog, Spooky, is stuffed and he lives on the top shelf for everyone to see. The little cute cat, Whiskers, frequently visits its kitty litter in row 7 and the shopkeeper's mother-in-law is hanging around and that's not helping the atmosphere. She still hasn't accepted that one-way ticket to Timbuktu that the other shopkeepers in the district put together a raffle to send her away on. Needless to say, the shop across the road with exactly the same products, they're acquiring plenty of new customers because all they need to do is walk straight across the road for a better experience. So it's important to understand that you do not need the best product to be the most successful business. All you need to do is provide a better experience than the guy across the road. That's content marketing. And then the last letter of GPS is S for sell. Sell products. You can affiliate with other people's products and you can refer these products and earn commissions. That's how I got started. Or you can have your own products. You might have a small business, you might have your own service, you might be a chiropractor, you might want to make your own products. We're going to go through that in the content marketing formula. You can also sell expertise. For instance, you can sell detailed solutions for people's problems and people's issues. And then you can sell your expertise. Everyone is an expert at something, and in one of the sessions coming up this month, I'm going to show you how you can unlock your inner expert and how everyone is an expert at something and how everyone has a blockbuster within them that it is their duty just to give it to the world and make a lot of money from it. Why not? Because people will pay for great expertise. That is the content marketing GPS. And I hope those 3 letters help you understand what content marketing is about. In that order: give, provide, sell. There is an article about that on the website learnhowtoblog.com.au. Let's have a look at why content marketing works. Effectively, when you're online, you tend to use a system called permission marketing. And the bottom line of that is that you are marketing to people with their permission. For instance, people generally do not opt into your email marketing list until they're ready. In other words, they give you permission to start sending them emails. When you've got a blog post on your blog. So there's an article on your blog, and in the sidebar there is something for sale. That is passively sitting there, and if they choose to go and click on that and go through to that website and have a look at that product, they are doing so. They're giving you their permission to go there. They're giving you their permission to market to them, and they're doing it when they are ready. I believe we are in the age of ethics. It's a time when marketing is becoming more ethical, when things are improving. Back in the 60s and 70s, I'm sure people could just throw a cigarette butt on the footpath and stamp it out. But nowadays, the young people will come up and chat to you when you start littering. People are becoming more ethical, and so is marketing. The old-fashioned marketing method, which still is being used, is called interruption marketing. That's when you're watching a TV program and then they stop for ads. How rude is that? You're sitting there, minding your own business, watching a program, and then they flash a big ad at you. That's just rude. You've got no choice. You're sitting there and there's the ad. Likewise, if you're driving down the highway and there's a massive big billboard sitting there, flashing at you, grabbing your attention. People do not like doing things without giving permission, and that is why content marketing is so great. And going further into why it works, content marketing is rapport building. People do not spend money with you until they know you. That is a fact. People spend money between people. Rapport needs to be built. People would like to spend money because it's a good feeling. It's an exchange of energy. I'll cover that in a minute. The feeling of spending money must be accompanied with a feeling of greatness, of feeling good. And when that is achieved, you've got a sale. Another reason why content marketing works is because the smart people do what they love. When you do what you love, you get rich. Look at all the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. They're doing what they love. Nothing wrong with doing what you love 24 hours a day. So people say, oh, I don't like that guy. He's a workaholic. The guy lives a life he loves. Nothing wrong with that. We all want to do what we love 24 hours a day. Now, how do you do the content marketing? That's what we're going through this whole month. Right now, we're explaining how it works and why it works for you. So this is where we go into the science lesson of the content marketing formula. I will keep this very light. To understand the content marketing formula, we must first understand that money is energy. Let me use an example. Here's a carpenter, and the carpenter is approached by the horse breeder because the horse breeder wants a stable. So the carpenter says, great, well, considering they have not yet invented money in this world, we will need to barter for it. Great, well, I think a stable is worth 5 horses. And the horse breeder agrees and says, yes, that's a fair trade. So when you build the stable and when you're finished, I will give you 5 horses. Fantastic. How did they arrive at that decision? Well, because the stable has got energy in it, and the horses have got energy in them. It takes a certain level of energy for the breeder to get a horse to the stage where that horse is good and he can sell it. He has to cut hay, he has to brush the horse, he has to keep it healthy, he has to feed it, has to do everything, and he has to put energy into selling it. There is energy in that horse that that person had to spend in order to get that to a stage where he could trade it. Likewise, there's energy required in building the stable. So they have arrived at a decision that the amount of energy in 5 horses of getting them to a saleable state is the same as the amount of energy in building a stable. So the carpenter builds the stable, the horse breeder gives him 5 horses. Now the carpenter walks away and he goes, oh, hang on, I only really need 1 horse. So he takes the other 4 horses and he goes and visits the greengrocer. He gives the greengrocer 1 horse and trades him a year's worth of food. Greengrocer is happy because the amount of energy he put into growing that food was the equivalent of a horse. Great. Now the carpenter goes to the tailor and he gets a heap of clothes for himself and his family, trades a horse. He also goes down to the lumberjack and he says, how about if I give you a horse and you give me a supply of lumber? The lumberjack goes, fantastic, I always wanted a horse and I got a stack of lumber. How much lumber for a horse? And they make an agreement, this much energy, this much effort, key word there, effort, in making that lumber, this much effort for the horse, exchange. Great. And then he goes to the blacksmith, does the same thing with him and gets a heap of nails. There's another horse gone. Now he's got one horse, a heap of supplies, food, clothes, lumber and nails for the year. Now if you had money, all they would need to do is say, look, a horse is $1,000 and the stable is $5,000. Fantastic. So 5 horses for a stable, but I don't need 5 horses. Give me $5,000 for the stable. And then he gets $5,000, he builds the stable, and then he comes back and says, I'd like a horse, and he gives him $1,000 for the horse. Now he's got $4,000. He can go down to the greengrocer and spend money. He can go to the tailor and spend money. He can go and buy lumber at the lumberjack with money, and he can buy nails at the blacksmith. It's the same thing. A certain amount of energy goes into earning the money, and when the money is spent, that amount of energy in the money is spent on the amount of energy of the value of what they're purchasing, such as the horse. When you go to work for 8 hours, you might get paid per hour, but the energy equivalent for those 8 hours, your worth or your value gets paid for that time. So when you go down to the shop and spend 8 hours pay, you want that price to be justified for that 8 hours. It's an exchange of energy. So can you see money and energy are interchangeable? You can turn money into energy and you can turn energy into money. I will convert this into the content marketing formula for you. First, we're going to have a look at Albert Einstein's Theory of Relativity. E equals mc squared. E is energy, m is mass, c is the speed of light. Let's not get too bogged down on what this means, other than what Einstein is saying here is mass can be converted into energy and vice versa. In other words, mass is interchangeable with energy. What is mass? Mass is the size of a body and its weight. What's in there? This is the sun. The sun's mass is being converted into energy. This is a piece of coal. The coal has got a mass, it's got a weight, and in that mass it's got stored energy or potential energy. Its mass can be converted into energy. Likewise, a piece of uranium has got stored energy as well. As a matter of fact, it emits energy. This energy can be extracted. The mass of the uranium can be converted into energy. One thing that Einstein did say with his theory of relativity is that a large mass can be converted into a small amount of energy, and a small mass can be converted into a large amount of energy. So if we're to compare coal versus uranium, and I'm not taking sides on what is good or bad here, I'm just purely talking about efficiency here. So remove any blocks on whether coal or uranium is right or wrong, but let's just look at the efficiency ratio here. If you have got a power station with an output of 1 gigawatt, is that a lot? Well, a normal power station is about 3 gigawatts. The biggest one in the world is about 22 gigawatts. But if we wanted to output 1 gigawatt for 1 year, we would need to use approximately 2 million tons of coal in order to put out 1 gigawatt on that power station. If we wanted to do the same with uranium, we would need 1 ton of uranium. In other words, the ratio is 2 million to 1. 2 million tons of coal or 1 ton of uranium has the same output. 2 million to 1. 2 million tons of coal to be burnt or 1 ton of uranium to be converted into the same amount of energy that does the same thing if you turn on a light bulb or you want to run a fan in your house or run a pump or something like that. 2 million tons is 2 million units. 1 ton of uranium is 1 unit. In your online business, whether you've got one now or whether you will have one in the future, imagine you have an online business. To get 1 sale, the output, the energy, the effect, to get 1 sale, do you want to spend 2 million units or 1 unit to get the same effect, the same output? A unit can be units of time that you spent, like hours or minutes. It could be amount of obstacles or learning experiences you have to go through. It could be the amount of money you're spending, such as expenses. There are many ways you can waste time units in your business. There are things you can do to be efficient, and there are things you can do just to spend time. Are you outsourcing the things that are less important to you so that you can spend more time on the important things that you are better at? You can outsource important things too, but is your business at the stage, just like in a day job where you work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, there is no overtime, your income is finite. There is a limit to your income but no limit to your expenses. In a business, you control both. You're in control of your life. So what I'm asking you here, to get 1 sale, to get 1 result, are you spending 2 million units or 1 unit? How efficient are you in your business? The content marketing formula is showing you how to get more effect with less effort by using the right systems and getting the correct leverage in your business. Spend the same amount of time for a bigger output. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity says energy equals mass times speed of light squared. The content marketing formula says effect equals marketing times content. The effect, those are your results, your output, the earnings, the money you make for your effort. Those are your results. That's the effect. Your marketing is your communication with the marketplace. And the content is the stuff that you publish, your articles, your posts. But your articles and your posts are no good if no one sees it. So your content requires marketing. That's why it's called content marketing, to get it in front of your potential clients so that you can get the effect. And the way that you produce the quality, the quantity of your content and how it is marketed will directly influence the effect. Just like Einstein's theory of relativity. Marketing and content can be converted into effect. Your effect are your earnings. They're the measurable gauge of how you're going in your business and probably how happy you are at the end of the day, because we all like rewards and we all like to see something for what we're doing. We don't want to just turn up and make no money, do we? We want to help people and get reward for helping people as well. That's a fantastic feeling. The content marketing formula, E equals MC. Effect, marketing, and content. So, your content times marketing equals your effect. In other words, a blog times effort equals income. So there you have it. That is the content marketing formula. Broken down through a heap of science into the very, very simple result of income through blog and effort. Content times marketing equals effect. And just to finally compare the two, Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, E equals mc squared, energy equals mass times speed of light squared, meaning that mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. Great, we know that now. We did the coal and the uranium and we can see that they got different efficiency ratios. The content marketing formula, E equals mc. Effect equals marketing times content. And there you have it. Content marketing can be converted into effect. Effect is your result. That's the money you earned and the accolades that you received for your efforts and that you keep receiving going forward. Good news is, knowing this, anyone can do it following this very, very simple formula. If you use the wrong tools and you do it the wrong way, you are never going to get the right result. I know that formula can be a little bit heavy perhaps, and if it is, go back and watch the video again. Watch it as many times as you need to. When the coin drops, when you finally get this, you probably already got the concept. All you need to do is appreciate that blog times effort equals income. When you can appreciate that that is the case, when you understand that money and energy are interchangeable, when you understand that, your whole level of ethics around business will totally change. And when your attitude changes around this, the altitude of your income will go up. Let me share with you the preferred tools of a content marketer. A very small list. Your internet browser, your preferred browser is Google Chrome, and I will explain that in more detail in other sessions. Google Chrome ties in with what Google does and everything Google does, and it is a lot faster than the other browsers, and it does a lot more good stuff for content marketers. This is not a deal breaker though, right? If you are in love with Internet Explorer, or if you're in love with Safari, or if you're in love with Opera or Thingamy-Bob, what's-me call it, browser, then persist with that. But if you have a choice and you're coachable, use Google Chrome. Social media. Without social media, if you do not like social media, I can tell you right now, if you're not prepared to learn how to use social media, content marketing is not going to work for you. I'm so sorry. But if you refuse to use one of the most powerful marketing tools there are to get word of mouth marketing out about you and your brand and your product, if you refuse to use that, it's like refusing to put petrol in a car. That car will not drive. I'm so sorry. But if you're prepared to learn about social media and use it, your business will thrive. And then one blog. All you need is one blog. That's it. It's the most simplest website in the world to use. It's like learning to ride a bike. Once you know how to ride it, it just gets easier and easier. But in the beginning, if you've never ridden that bike, it can be a little bit daunting. You're going to scrape a few knees, but it's okay. Because once you get good at it, you fly. And you also need a smile. And a smile comes with a positive attitude, because the most successful people in the world are positive people. And nothing comes from negativity, and everything comes from positivity. We are attracted to people with smiles on their faces. Bring a smile with you every day. Your browser, social media, a blog, and a smile. If you don't have a blog now, it's absolutely fine. You can still go through this entire course without a blog, but be prepared to get a blog at some stage if you ever want to be making any money online. For now, let's learn. Then there is a competition, the Content Marketing Formula Competition. There's going to be a winner's draw on the 2nd of December 2013. There are 4 major prizes and there is 1 grand poobah prize as well. These are going to mount up to thousands of dollars, and I'm going to announce everything about how to win and how to be eligible for the draw, how to be part of the competition in the next video. We're going to go into detail in that one, everything about the competition, and there will also be a page with all the rules and what the competition is about on the blog learnhowtoblog.com.au. One little part of the competition, I'm going to give it away now, is to comment on the blog post that I give you in the homework session of these videos. More about that in a moment. To get support, comment on the blog posts in learnhowtoblog.com.au. Comment below any blog post on a topic, ask your questions, and you get help. Join Google+, join Facebook, join Twitter, and you can ask me questions there. You will find the profiles. Please add them to your social media accounts. Add me to your circles in Google+, add us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and you can ask questions on any of those three. Talk to me. Absolutely fine. And then we also have a ticket support system. Newsletter at learnhowtoblog.com.au. You can actually email that address to access the support team of Learn How to Blog. Upcoming sessions, many of them, and these are just some. More about content marketing, the power of blogs, where the money is, affiliate products or making your own products or having your own products, social signals, SEO, traffic generation, and much more. And to finish off with one of the most profound quotes that I've ever heard anyone make by Henry Ford. Whether you think that you can or think that you cannot, you are right. Successful people are positive people. Keep the right attitude, believe in yourself, think that you can, defy the obstacles, and you will find that there were no obstacles. They're all in your mind. Think that you can and you will succeed. And the homework for this session? Read this blog post. There will be a link just below this video. Why you need a gravatar. When you comment on people's posts, you need to have a face attached. Please do so. Then go and get a gravatar. In this blog post, you'll see that I've got a video. It actually shows you how to do it. Keep in mind the videos from 2010 and my video making skills have improved since then. Then get a gravatar. When you get your gravatar, use your commenting email. I suggest you use the same email everywhere you comment on blogs online. If you're not quite sure what I'm talking about here, read the article. The link is below this video. I suggest you use a Gmail email address. Reason being, Gmail is one of the best emails around. It's controlled by Google and it ties in with Google Plus and just about anything that's worth doing online. Again, this is not a deal breaker. If you've got some other address, then use that. Gmail is recommended, but use just one email and use it everywhere when you comment. Put that into your gravatar, then comment on that blog post with your new gravatar. Say hello to me. And that is all for this session. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I'm Sean Rasmussen from Learn How to Blog. This is the content marketing formula. See you in the next video. Live life, have fun, and enjoy.